The power goes out. You check your phone, no service. You look out the window, the entire neighborhood is dark. For the first hour, people treat it like a mild inconvenience. They light a candle, they wait. By hour 3, the realization sets in. This isn't a temporary blip. The grid is down. That is the exact moment the panic buying starts. But here is the critical failure in how most people approach this. They rush to the store to buy bread, milk, and eggs, foods that expire, foods that require a functioning kitchen to actually cook. They prepare for a weekend inconvenience. They do not prepare for a grid collapse. When the power stops, your modern life stops. Water pressure drops. Refrigerators become insulated boxes of rotting food. Medical access disappears. The things that vanish from store shelves first are not the things you actually need to survive. They are the things people panic buy to pretend everything is still normal. These are the first 10 things to disappear when the grid goes down. Most of them are completely ignored by average preppers. One of them is a complete waste of your time, yet it vanishes in under 45 minutes. Stay for number 1. It is the biggest psychological trap in modern preparedness. Let's get into it. Number 10. 1-pound propane cylinders. Most people have a grill on their back patio. They have a camp stove in the garage. They assume cooking is handled. Here is the catch most people miss. Having the hardware is meaningless if you do not have the fuel. When the grid goes down, electric stoves are dead. Gas lines often lose pressure. Those small green 1-pound propane canisters vanish from hardware stores and sporting goods aisles within hours. People buy them by the dozen. The physical function is obvious. You need heat to boil water and cook stored food. The psychological function is what actually matters. Eating cold canned soup in a dark, freezing house on day 3 is demoralizing. It drains the energy from a household. A hot meal is a reset button for the human brain. It signals normalcy. It signals that someone is still in control of the environment. A single 1-pound canister burns for roughly 2 hours. It costs less than $5. Stocking 10 of them costs $50 and takes up the space of a shoebox. Do not wait for the storm warning to buy them. The shelves will already be empty. Number 9. Disposable plates and utensils. This is the item most hardcore survivalists laugh at. They have tactical gear. They have water filters. They do not think about paper plates. That is a massive operational blind spot. Here is what happens on day 2 of a grid down scenario. You cook a meal. You eat it. Now you have a sink full of dirty dishes. The tap is dry. You have carefully stored drinking water in your pantry. Are you going to pour 3 gallons of your life-saving drinking water over dirty porcelain plates just to wash them? No, you are not. Paper plates and plastic utensils solve a specific high-friction problem. They completely eliminate the water cost of food preparation. Furthermore, they reduce physical labor. When you are managing an emergency, you are already exhausted. Every task takes twice as long. Eliminating the chore of washing dishes preserves your physical energy and removes a massive sanitation risk from your kitchen. Number 8. Over-the-counter painkillers. Look at any prepper's medical kit. You will see tourniquets. You will see trauma bandages. You will see chest seals. That is excellent for a combat zone. It is practically useless for a Tuesday afternoon grid failure. When the grid goes down, the stress level in your house spikes. Sleep is disrupted. Caffeine routines are broken. Physical labor increases. The result is completely predictable. Massive, blinding tension headaches, muscle aches from lifting heavy water jugs, joint pain from sleeping on a living room floor. A severe headache does not just cause pain, it destroys cognitive clarity. It narrows your focus. When you are leading a family through a crisis, decision fatigue is your enemy. You cannot afford to make poor operational decisions because your head is pounding. Ibuprofen and acetaminophen clear the fog. They reduce the physical friction of stress. The moment a disaster is announced, pharmacy shelves are stripped of basic painkillers. Keep 2 large bottles in your dedicated emergency kit, unopened, untouched by everyday use. Unconditional access to pain relief is an operational necessity. Number 7. Wet wipes. Most people associate baby wipes with infants. If you do not have a baby, you probably do not have them in your house. That assumption is wrong, and it costs you dearly in a disruption. When the water stops flowing, the shower stops working. After 3 days of physical labor, sweating, and stress, hygiene degrades rapidly. The physical risk is real. Minor abrasions turn into staph infections when skin is not kept clean. But the psychological angle is far heavier. Feeling filthy degrades morale faster than almost anything else. It makes people feel like refugees in their own homes. A basic wipe down with a wet wipe before trying to sleep changes the entire mental state of a household. It restores a baseline of human dignity. They are cheap, they stack easily, they last for years if kept in a cool, sealed environment. 3 multi-packs cost $10. When the local water treatment plant loses power, they are the first hygiene item to vanish. Number 6. Small denomination cash. We live in a digital economy. Tap your card, scan your phone. When the grid drops, the digital economy drops with it. The card readers are dead. The ATMs are bricks. The grocery store doors are locked, or they are accepting cash only. Most people know they should keep some cash on hand. Here is the mistake they make. They go to the bank and withdraw 5 $100 bills. A $100 bill is practically useless in a local grid down scenario. Imagine trying to buy a $10 bundle of firewood from a neighbor. You hand them a $100 bill. They do not have change. The digital networks are down. They cannot break it. You just spent $100 on wood, or you walk away freezing. Small denominations are the operational grease of a localized emergency. You need 1s, 5s, and 10s. You need exact change. Cash allows you to barter, purchase forgotten supplies from corner stores, and solve problems smoothly. Keep $200 in small bills in a waterproof bag. When the ATMs go dark, that stack of 1s and 5s becomes the most powerful tool in your house. Number 5. Manual can openers. This is a single point of failure that quietly ruins thousands of emergency plans. People stockpile canned beans, they stockpile canned soup, they spend hundreds of dollars on shelf-stable food. Then the power goes out. They walk into the kitchen, they reach for their electric can opener. It is dead. They dig through the drawer for a manual one. It is rusted, or it is missing a gear, or they simply do not own one. A can of food without a way to open it is not food. It is a steel paperweight. You can try to smash it open with a rock or a knife. You will spill half the calories, contaminate the food, and likely cut your hand. In a grid-down scenario, a cut hand is a medical liability you cannot afford. Buy a heavy-duty, commercial-grade manual can opener. Buy 2. Put one in your emergency bin. Do not use it for everyday cooking. Keep it strictly for emergencies. Unconditional access to your food supply is non-negotiable. Number 4. Instant coffee. This entry makes people roll their eyes. Coffee is a luxury. Survival is about water and calories. That is an amateur perspective. Over 70% of adults consume caffeine daily. When the grid goes down, the coffee maker stops. The drive-thru is closed. Within 24 hours, the caffeine withdrawal begins. The symptoms are not just a slight craving. It is severe lethargy, irritability, throbbing migraines. Now take those symptoms and stack them on top of a highly stressful, chaotic emergency where you need to make rapid, accurate decisions. You are asking your brain to process a crisis while it is actively experiencing chemical withdrawal. Instant coffee prevents this. It requires no electricity. Stir it into room temperature water if you have to. It is not about the taste. It is about keeping the operator, you, functioning at a baseline level. It prevents the crash. It keeps morale steady. It keeps you sharp when you need to be sharp. 2 jars of instant coffee cost $12. It is the cheapest cognitive insurance you can buy. Before we hit the top 3, a quick reality check on how you view your home. The micro lesson here is something I call the illusion of the refrigerator. When the grid drops, 90% of people spend their first 12 hours desperately trying to save the food in their fridge. They open and close the door. They cook random meats. They panic. Let it go. The fridge is dead. Your emergency plan should not rely on life support for perishable goods. The moment the power dies, you must instantly pivot your mind to your shelf-stable systems. Systems survive. Clinging to the old normal gets you into trouble. If you are finding value in this hard truth, drop a quick like on the video. It genuinely helps push this information to people who are currently relying on a fragile kitchen. Let's keep going. Number 3. Unscented liquid bleach. Water is heavy. It takes up space. Most people store a case of bottled water and call it a day. A case of water lasts a family of 4 exactly 36 hours. After that, you are entirely dependent on whatever water you can scavenge from rain barrels, local streams, or the water heater. Scavenged water is dangerous. It contains biological contaminants. Boiling works, but boiling requires fuel, and as we covered in number 10, fuel is a finite resource. Unscented, standard household liquid bleach is the chemical solution. 8 drops of bleach will purify 1 gallon of clear water. It kills the biological threats. It buys you time. Here is the detail almost nobody knows. Bleach expires. It degrades over time. A bottle of bleach sitting in your laundry room for 3 years has lost most of its purifying power. You must rotate it annually. Buy a fresh bottle. Write the date on it with a marker. Store it in a cool, dark place. When the local boil water advisory goes out, the bleach aisle in the grocery store is stripped bare in hours. Beat the rush. Number 2. AA and AAA batteries. Everyone owns a flashlight. Very few people know exactly where the batteries are. When the sun goes down on a grid failure, the darkness is absolute. It is not like a normal night where streetlights glow through the window. It is pitch black. Darkness induces anxiety. It paralyzes a household. If you cannot see, you cannot operate. You cannot cook. You cannot apply first aid. You cannot monitor your perimeter. People realize this at 7 p.m. on day 1. They rush to the convenience store. The battery rack is empty. You need bulk packs of AA and AAA batteries, not D cells, not C cells. Standardize your emergency gear. Your headlamps, your handheld lights, your emergency radio, they should all run on the same common battery size. This eliminates the operational friction of digging through a drawer for a mismatched battery in the dark. Light is not just vision. Light is control. When you turn on a headlamp, you reclaim your operational capacity. You keep your hands free. You signal to your family that the situation is managed. And now, number 1. The item that vanishes from stores faster than anything else. The item that causes fights in parking lots. The item that is fundamentally a complete waste of your time and money in a long-term grid failure. What is the first thing you think people rush to buy when the power cuts out? Drop your guess in the comments right now. Let's see how many of you have watched this happen. Number 1. Bagged ice. The moment the grid goes down, there is a mass exodus to the grocery stores and gas stations. People are not rushing for water. They are not rushing for medical supplies. They are rushing to the freezer chest at the front of the store. They buy 10 bags of block ice. Why? Because of the illusion of the refrigerator. People are terrified of losing the $300 worth of groceries in their fridge and freezer. They want to pack coolers. They want to preserve the food. They want to preserve their normal life. It is a psychological trap. Ice melts. Within 48 hours, those coolers are full of lukewarm water and floating spoiled meat. Bagged ice vanishes in 45 minutes during a localized power outage. People will stand in line for 2 hours to buy it. They waste the most critical window of an emergency, the first 72 hours, standing in a grocery store line, trying to save a gallon of milk and some frozen chicken. Do not fall into this trap. Let the frozen food go. Cook what you can immediately and accept the loss of the rest. While your neighbors are fighting over the last bag of crushed ice, you should be perfectly calm, sitting in your home, transitioning smoothly to your shelf-stable food, your propane stove, and your battery-powered lighting. Preparedness is not about hoarding everything. It is about understanding what actually matters. The people who suffer the most when the grid goes down are the ones who wait for the government to tell them what to do. They are the ones standing in line for ice. They are the ones realizing on day 3 that they have no cash, a pounding caffeine headache, and no way to open their canned food. The grid will fail. It is a mechanical system, and all mechanical systems eventually break. You cannot control the grid. You can only control your threshold for friction. Having these 10 items does not make you a doomsday prepper. It makes you a responsible adult who refuses to become a liability to emergency services. It means that when the lights go out, your pulse doesn't spike. You simply reach for your headlamp, turn it on, and get to work. Look around your house right now. If the power dropped this second, which of these 10 items would you be missing? Be honest. Drop it in the comments. I read every single one.